Picture a serene, peaceful region, a paradise of green hills and valleys, Mizoram in the 1960s. But beneath the tranquility, a storm was brewing. Mizoram during this era was a place of contrasts. On one hand, it was a land of breathtaking beauty, a lush expanse of forests and rivulets steeped in a rich tapestry of cultural heritage. Yet, under this picturesque surface, the seeds of discord were being sown. A struggle for autonomy was beginning to take shape, a movement that would soon escalate into a full-blown conflict, forever altering the course of Mizoram's history. The 1960s were a tumultuous period in Mizoram. The people were grappling with a sense of identity, a longing for self-determination. The Mizo National Front, or MNF, was born out of this desire for autonomy. The MNF was not just a political entity, it was a symbol, a beacon of hope for the Mizo people, a promise of a future where they could govern their own land, preserve their own customs, and shape their own destiny. However, the rise of the MNF was seen as a threat to the national integrity of India. The Indian government, striving to maintain unity in a newly independent nation brimming with diverse cultures and ethnicities, saw the MNF's quest for autonomy as a potential domino effect which could lead to similar demands from other regions. The escalating tensions had reached a boiling point. Yet, the complexities of the situation were far from black and white. The MNF's demand for self-rule was rooted in a deep-seated sense of cultural pride and a desire to safeguard their unique way of life. Simultaneously, the Indian government was grappling with the challenges of nation building, of weaving a unified tapestry from a multitude of distinct threads. As tensions rose, the Indian government was left with a decision that would change the course of Mizoram's history forever. As we delve deeper into this unseen history, let us remember that every story has multiple perspectives, every conflict has its roots, and every decision its implications. The Indian government perceived a threat to its national security. A decision was made, a decision that would leave a lasting impact. As we delve deeper into the turbulent times of the 1960s in Mizoram, it's crucial to understand the catalyst for the events that unfolded. The Indian government, in the face of escalating tensions, felt its hand was forced. The Mizo National Front, or MNF, was gaining momentum in their struggle for autonomy. The government saw this as a direct threat to the nation's unity and integrity. But what exactly led to this perception? Let's take a step back and examine the brewing storm. The MNF, born out of dissatisfaction with the Indian government's response to a severe famine in Mizoram in the late 1950s, had grown into a formidable force. Their demands for a separate Mizo homeland were not merely whispers in the wind, but a clarion call that echoed throughout the verdant hills of the region. As the MNF's clout grew, so too did their audacity. The infamous uprising on the 28th of February 1966 saw the MNF launch a coordinated attack on government institutions and security forces. This audacious move was seen as a direct challenge to the Indian state's authority. The government, in response, declared the MNF an unlawful organization. It was clear that the situation had reached a tipping point. From the government's perspective, the MNF's actions were not just a regional concern, but a threat to national security. This perception led to a decision that would forever change the course of Mizoram's history. The Indian government decided to resort to military action, a choice that was both unprecedented and controversial. This was not a decision taken lightly, but in the face of what they perceived as a growing insurgency, they felt there was no other option. And so, the stage was set for a military intervention unlike any other in India's history. The days ahead would bring with them a storm of steel and fire, forever engraving the year 1966 in the annals of Mizoram's history. March 5th, 1966, a day that would forever be etched in the memories of the Mizo people. Picture this, the quiet morning of a typical day in the tranquil hills of Mizoram, living their simple lives, oblivious to the impending storm. The tranquility, however, was short-lived. The Indian government, grappling with escalating tensions and a perceived threat to national security, took an unprecedented step. A decision was made to deploy military forces, a decision that would change the course of Mizoram's history. The once peaceful region was on the verge of a massive upheaval as battalions of soldiers were dispatched to the area. Imagine the shock, the panic, the confusion as villagers saw, for the first time, planes swooping low over their homes. The rumble of engines was soon drowned out by the deafening roar of bombs. The air raids had begun, marking the start of a relentless bombing campaign. One can hardly comprehend the sheer intensity of the onslaught. The bombardment was indiscriminate, with no village spared the wrath of the bombings. Homes were reduced to rubble, fields were laid to waste, and the lush green landscape was transformed into a barren wasteland. The devastation was beyond anything the Mizos had ever experienced. The bombing campaign lasted for weeks, each day bringing with it a new wave of fear and destruction. The once bustling villages were now ghost towns, their inhabitants either displaced, hiding, or worse, silenced forever. The scale of the destruction was immense, the loss immeasurable. The bombings claimed countless lives, shattered countless dreams, and inflicted deep psychological trauma on the survivors. The echoes of the blasts still reverberate in the hearts of the Mizos, a poignant reminder of the horrors they endured. In the aftermath, the once peaceful hills and valleys were left scarred and desolate. The memory of the bombing remains a somber chapter in Mizoram's history, a testament to the resilience of its people and their enduring spirit in the face of adversity. The bombings ceased, but the scars were deep and the pain was real. The aftermath of the 1966 Mizoram bombing was a time of profound devastation and sorrow. It was a period marked by loss, displacement, and deep-seated trauma that would reverberate throughout the years. In the immediate wake of the bombing, the loss of life was staggering. Families were torn apart, communities were shattered, and the very fabric of Mizo society seemed to have been irreparably damaged. Not only were the physical structures of villages obliterated, but the emotional and psychological landscapes of the people were also deeply scarred. The bombing also triggered a mass displacement, with thousands of Mizos fleeing their homes in search of safety. They found themselves thrust into unfamiliar environments, grappling with the challenges of rebuilding their lives from scratch. This displacement led to significant socio-economic shifts in Mizoram, as patterns of livelihood and community structures underwent rapid change. The traditional agrarian lifestyle was disrupted, and many Mizos were forced to adapt to new ways of life. The psychological trauma stemming from the bombing was another significant aftermath. The horrors of the bombing, the loss of loved ones, the destruction of homes, and the upheaval of their entire lives left a deep imprint on the psyche of the Mizos. They carried these invisible wounds with them, a silent testament to the atrocities they had endured. Moreover, the socio-economic landscape of Mizoram was permanently altered. The bombing had not only destroyed physical infrastructure, but had also disrupted the economic stability of the region. The agricultural sector, which was the backbone of Mizo economy, had been severely impacted. This, coupled with the displacement of people, altered the economic trajectory of Mizoram. The bombings had ceased, but the aftermath was just beginning. The people of Mizoram were left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives, their resilience and spirit tested like never before. They had to navigate the challenges of displacement, economic upheaval, and psychological trauma, all while trying to rebuild their communities and their lives. The bombing had ended, but its effects would be felt for generations to come. Over half a century has passed since that fateful day, but the memory of the bombing is as vivid as ever. The 1966 Mizoram bombing is an indelible part of the region's history, a somber chapter that has left a profound and enduring imprint on its people and their collective memory. The bombing's significance extends beyond the immediate devastation it caused. It marked a turning point in Mizoram's struggle for autonomy, acting as a catalyst for change. The intense military action, rather than quelling the unrest, intensified the Mizo National Front's resolve and heightened the sense of national identity among the Mizo people. In the aftermath, the landscape of Mizoram was forever altered. The physical scars may have faded over time, but the psychological ones remain. Generations of Mizos have been shaped by the stories of their parents and grandparents, their lives defined by a history of struggle and resilience. Yet, amidst the pain and the trauma, there is also a story of hope and healing. Over the years, the people of Mizoram have shown an incredible capacity to rebuild and move forward. Efforts towards reconciliation and remembrance have played a crucial role in this process. Memorials have been erected, stories have been shared, and the history of the bombing has been meticulously documented and preserved. These initiatives serve as a testament to the enduring strength of the Mizo people, their ability to rise from the ashes, and their commitment to ensuring that such a tragedy is never forgotten. The legacy of the 1966 Mizoram bombing is a complex tapestry of pain, resilience, and hope. It is a testament to the cost of conflict, the power of a collective memory, and the indomitable spirit of a people. As we look back on this chapter of history, we are reminded of the importance of peace, the value of autonomy, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. The 1966 Mizoram bombing, a chapter of Indian history that serves as a stark reminder of the cost of conflict and the enduring strength of the human spirit.